not only do you have to have zero self-respect as a man to become a male feminist, but it's also a waste of your time because it doesn't work. It's like a black man trying to join the KKK. You're never going to be accepted. You're never going to be seen as one of the good ones. You'll always be seen as a member of the opposing team. And these two male feminists, Kavernackle and Bad Epinana, are finding out the hard way. Though you'll see by their reactions, they're so baffled because they can't come to terms with female hostility towards them. Now, what happened is that this female feminist, Trash Discourse, an apt name for her channel, became envious of their YouTube success as men. And so she decided to make up some bullshit story about them. She smeared the reputations. And as you can see down here, she's supported by one of her fellow female feminists. Brittany, Trash Discourse calls out Kavernackle, and the backlash turns bigoted. Translation, Trash Discourse lies about Kavernackle, and Kavernackle defends himself. That's what actually happened. Now, I'm going to let you guys know, everything that these women accuse men of is a confession. Whatever they claim about these two men, they themselves are guilty of. Now, let's start with Kavernackle. Let's see what his reactions are. And of course, the title of her video was Nazis are recruiting using left-wing buzz terms. So she's accusing these two men of being Nazis, right? Anyway, let's hear this.
Constantly pumping out the same slop over and over again, telling their viewers that watching these videos is praxis, actually, all while seeding their viewers with these right-wing beliefs, slowly indoctrinating them into right-wing conspiratorial thinking.
Now, again, this is confession. Feminists are right-wing, not left-wing. They see value, that they see virtue in the left wing. So they want to cover their hatred with virtue. So they call themselves left wing. And anyone they oppose, that is men, they will call right wing. You'll see it happen here. Right?
That's why Kavernackle seems so threatened by what he calls the nebula elite, which is just straight up an anti-Semitic and anti-queer dog whistle. It's a train whistle. Those trains.
See, she's calling him a Nazi. How does it feel? Kavernackle, how does it feel as a male feminist to be turned on by the haters that you have been bootlicking?
The ones you're thinking of. He's so threatened by those people because he needs people to watch his content, because he's profiting off of it. If they go and watch better creators like Lindsay Ellis.
See, a better creator is a female. Now, these guys will all be about left and right, but this is strictly a line between genders. Watch this female content maker. She does so much better job than these lowly males.
Or anyone, pretty much. Then they won't be watching his bullshit, his slop. His boring slop where he talks in a flat, affected colonizer accent into the camera.
Now, this woman is pretty cheeky. White women are the biggest colonizers in all the world. They never have to get their hands dirty, but they are the engines of colonization. And feminists are the biggest colonizers ever. They'll find a group that has some kind of value to it, and because they have nothing good to offer, they latch onto that group and claim everything that group does well for themselves. Again, This is all projection.
Just the same things over and over again. Boring slop content. And occasionally disrespects his girlfriend in front of his entire audience.
There you go. See? See, Kavernackle? You know, all your bootlicking to the opposite sex didn't work, did it? Did it?
His content sucks ass.
So when you become a YouTuber of a certain size, you can expect people making videos on you, criticizing your points, and maybe...
But this woman isn't criticizing your points. She's slandering you, dude, as a Nazi and a woman abuser. She's lying about you. Of course, you can't admit that. You bootlick.
out bad faith attacks.
And it's because you're a man she's going after you. Yes, you're sizable, but it's because you're a successful male.
If they might be more conservative, it usually comes with the territory, and you have to kind of develop a bit of a, hard shell and not take them so personally, because these people don't know you. They only actually see like a small representation of who you are, especially.
It doesn't matter. She sees your male. That's your representation. You represent my gender. She doesn't need to know anything else.
If you're someone who just makes YouTube videos and not live streams. And I tend to have a rule on this channel.
You might think I'm crazy, guys, but let me see if I can prove it. Oh yeah, here it is here. These are the people she has a problem with. They're all male. Of course, because these women want to obscure the fact that they're sexist, they choose all white men to say, oh, it's about them about their race. Right? It's so, and all these guys are successful, no doubt. I've seen this guy for sure. I know this grifter is definitely successful. So that's what it's about. It's about attacking men. Anyway, where were we? Where were we?
Respond to criticism from channels that are way smaller than mine, because I just realized that
she's not criticizing you. She's lying about you, dude.
I can both ignore that, and also the power dynamics at play often result in people taking it as a green light to kind of go after people in a nasty way, right? And that's because I've experienced...
This is excuse making, dude. You're saying I don't go after smaller channels. Her channel's smaller than yours. But the simple fact is she has female privilege. She has social dominance. People listen to women. Cavicular, or whatever your name is. I want to call you Cavicular, Carvicle, or Kavernackle. Yes. People listen to women. And so they don't, if you don't address this, it's going to hurt your channel. I mean, look at this. She has 22,000 subs, but here she is supported by Brittany Simon. I believe Brittany has 1,000 subs. So this is basically a hashtag Me Too on these two male feminists. Where are you? These two male feminists, right? They're going to smear you. They're going to lie about you, and they don't need any evidence.
It myself, like when I was a small creator, like 5k subs, I had like these massive conservative channels make videos on me. I'd get like so much crazy hate in my comments. So I've always advocated for people to have proportional responses.
Well, you are a male feminist, so you're just a bad person by default.
To people they don't even like. And even people hated my take on like Anna Kasparian, who I've criticized even recently in a video. But
she's a man hater too. She offers nothing positive to society.
I said some of the coverage of her was excessive and feels like it's trying to make her into a lolcow. I know people didn't like that, but it comes from my own experience of this sort.
So these women who hate your guts because of the way you were born, you're so concerned about them, they might become a lolcow. And here they are attacking you. This is pathetic.
Of thing happening. So I tend to avoid it, and I have actually been going back and forth of ignoring this because a YouTuber called Trash Discourse made a video about me and a few other male leftist creators.
Yeah, male creators. Everything else you said doesn't mean anything. By the way, you're not left wing. You're a feminist. Feminists are far right. They're authoritarian. And they're a regressive hate movement. You're a male feminist, you're not left wing.
One creator in particular who I really don't like, Vosh, someone I've criticized many times, someone I've always called a toxic force on the online left, and someone I was...
But he's not left wing for sure. He's a traditionalist, dude. He was crapping on gay men in the Pride Parade. Not lesbians, of course. The gay men. So, I mean, he's a homophobe, but he's not left wing. He disguises himself as one. But you go ahead. You try and call him left wing.
Happy, who has been shunned now. I was lumped in with Vosh, and I was lumped in with another YouTuber called Bad Empanada. And the longer I watched this video, the more I thought I had to respond to it, because some of the allegations made at me were both like really shocking and verging into just like outright slander.
Not verging, they were slander. You coward. They were slander. They were outright lies about you. Are you a Nazi?
Essentially, the thesis of the video is creators like me are driving leftist men into the hands of neo-Nazis and basically insinuating I'm an actual anti-Semite as well.
There you go. Now, if any of those true, that's absolute slander. She's smearing your reputation. And of course, again, because she's female, she has social clout. She can actually harm your channel.
For using the term...
And you being a male feminist didn't give you any protection whatsoever.
The Nebula Elite, referring to the streaming platform which hosts some of the biggest like liberal lib-left creators. That is actually evidence of me being like an anti-Semite who hates queer people. And I was going back and forth on whether I should make this video, but then I saw comments of people saying I abuse my girlfriend, I'm shitty to my...
There you go. See, that's all that matters. You're a lonely man who didn't revere his woman. Not respect her, you didn't acquiesce to everything about her. That's what this is about.
Girlfriend. And the video didn't...
That and this woman's envy. She has envy for your success. She's a crap content maker. She's crap at YouTube. So she's envious of you.
Say that, but what it's clear the video has done and Trash Discourse has done is not engage with my arguments, is not engage with my content, and has used some avenue to find criticism of me.
Well, why would she do that? She's Me Tooing you. Me Too is a lie. Why would she bother with evidence? She doesn't need evidence to smear your reputation anyway. You admitted it. A bunch of people came on and accused you without any evidence whatsoever. She doesn't need evidence.
And has just like referenced a lot of that criticism without any context. So I'm going to get into it a bit more deeper. But this person references that I apparently embarrassed my girlfriend in front of all my followers. So immediately, if you're watching a video and someone says that about a creator you know, and you're thinking, oh damn, I didn't know that Kavernackle like was shitty to his girlfriend. Like he's probably like one of those streamers who like is terrible to their girlfriend on stream. What this person is actually referring to is some criticism I got on my Taylor Swift video of my girlfriend where I would interrupt her. And
oh no, you interrupted her. You interrupted her. Wow, you certainly don't know your place. Call yourself a male feminist. Anyway, let's get into this woman's grievance. Don't worry, Bad Empanada. We'll get to you too. We'll get to you too. We got to deal with this other bootleg first.
All for their pro-Palestinian rhetoric and reminded people that these people are fascists, because I've always reminded people Palestine is the issue that represents everything. You kind of say, well, this person supports Palestine but is a fascist in every other way, and then you give them their support. I've always called this shit out, so it's infuriating for someone to then go and smear me as some sort of Nazi. But now here's the thing, trash then...
Most likely this woman talking is a Zionist.
Defends people I called out from talking about Palestine because the algorithm could nuke their channel and all their videos could be demonetized. So why does that apply to them as a defense, and then at the same time you're attacking me for using the issue to make money? If it's such a defense for people not...
Well, duh, she's being a hypocrite. Liars are, they're always going to contradict themselves, dude. Feminists are liars. You ought to know you're a male feminist. This one guy, like these guys know what they sign up for. And then they get upset and they get confused and baffled. It's like, the hell?
not to speak about it because they can't make a living off it, then how can you attack me for being a grifter by talking about it all the time?
This is a chilling effect on marginalized people.
Okay, see, this person, for lack of a better word, is hiding behind true marginalized people. Men are marginalized, not women. Men are the ones who are getting kicked out of college by people like her. It's men that are finding hard to get employment because of quotas that allow women like her to take their place undeservedly. It's men that get drafted and circumcised. Men are the marginalized group. She is an oppressor. She's our oppressor. She has no business saying marginalized. These women are the most privileged people in the world throughout all history, and they belong to a majority. They're 50% of the population. So what I tell you, they're colonizers. They snatch up, men of other races and use them as shields.
They see other people getting piled on for talking about the genocide, the thing everyone says they want us to be doing. And they say, well, I'm not going to cover that because I'm just going to get attacked for not...
No, this is bullcrap, because this is why it's important to look at Epenandas, because he shows you that this woman's content and her content is garbage. She's not interested in talking about Palestine. She never does. She's not a political channel in that regard. The only politics she cares about are gender politics.
Doing it to the absolute perfection standard. They're going to find some bullshit, some misspeak, some issue, and they're going to attack me and send their followers after me. So then marginalized people don't make videos about these serious topics.
Again, you're not marginalized. You're the marginalizer.
Topics. And then you get people saying, well, why aren't these marginalized people making videos about this stuff? They don't care about the things that we care about. It's a self-perpetuating.
Well, you don't. I've seen your content. You're not interested in that. You have empty content.
Cycle. And from the other side, marginalized creators also know that if they do talk about these topics, they are more likely to be nuked from orbit by the YouTube algorithm.
Bullshit. Bullshit, I call. These feminist women say the most egregious things, and YouTube supports them and backs them and boosts them. This is a bold-faced lie. Kavernackle. No. These liars, they're always going to contradict themselves, right? Or I should say more accurately, these hate mongers, they're always going to lie because they're anti-truth.
Demonetization or even like account issues if they cover these kinds of topics or anything anything risky. So they're left in this place where they are between getting nuked from orbit, their account nuked from orbit by YouTube, and being on the wrong end of a hate campaign. And they decide, that's not worth it. I'm not talking about this. And that's much harder it's much harder to thread that needle when you're a marginalized creator who won't be given the benefit of the doubt as much as guys who look like this.
There you go. Again, guys who look like that. In other words, guys. Again, she's hiding behind race. A lot of white guys, a lot of actual races fall for this because they want to make it about race. But no, these male YouTubers earn their spots, whether you like them or agree with them. They earned it. You didn't. You can't make content. You're a garbage creator. What's your name again? I have to look up your name again. What's your name again? Trash Discourse. You suck at YouTube. And so she's envious of male creators. She's probably envious of female creators too, but she can't go after them, can she? But she can go after these guys. She knows they're beneath her. So let's go to Empanada here. And again, he points out what her content actually is. Let's see what kind of content she makes.
She has made in the past. It's like, did Hitler have a micro penis?
Yeah, there you go. Did Hitler have a micro penis? So she's just attacking males of history, right? She's a man-hater.
Don't care. I don't even really know what to say about a lot of these videos. Like, some of them are on topics of consequence. As I was saying, every now and again they did talk about things that actually matter. Like, then they came for the deaf. That's a good topic to talk about. But it's always, when they do talk about a topic of actual consequence, it's always something to do with their own in-group, right? Like, you're an American, there's deaf people around you. You might even know deaf people. You might have deaf friends. You might have deaf family members.
This is gibberish. What's that got to do with her slandering you? I have a hard time with Epinania because he's such a groveler, right? Goes through all this unnecessary, what do you call it? Oh, but look at it, stuff. Cox and earnest defense, right? Should ex-gender markets exist? Should labor unions be armed? This is her crap content. What is gender? This woman is all about crapping on males and talking about sex, right? Her content sucks, and she's not going to talk about Palestine. She's not interested in anything beyond herself.
It's easy for you to sympathize with deaf people because deaf people are a part of what you consider to be in your in-group. It's a lot harder for you to sympathize with Palestinians. They're not a part of your in-group. So in your base of content, they tend
to be honest, Pinata, I think you're a grifter. I don't think you really care about them either. I think you just put your finger to the wind and said, okay, this is the winning side, so I'm going to join it. I don't buy that you care about these people.
Be totally ignored. What your country does to them tends to be totally ignored. That is the sort of Breadtube creed, the Breadtube motto. Me and mine before everything else, or me and mine in lieu of everything else is more.
Yeah, but that's not because she's Breadtube. She's a female feminist. Of course, they think only about themselves.
More adequate, more accurate. Cox and earnest defense. What happened to sexy plumber porn? Tom.
There you go. Everything's about sex. It's all about gender and sex. And hatred of men.
Right? Boy X kind of sucks. Is Chappelle Rowan secretly straight and Republican? Weird Mormon sex stuff. Look,
weird Mormon sex stuff. There you go. There you go. By the way, this video she made, I don't think I can find it anymore. This is about 5 months ago. I looked at her channel. I don't think I found it. I think she took it down. I think she realized how bad it made her look. Anyway.
Realism. They really don't want to talk about that. So let's see. Just to note, this video just completely needlessly has multiple scene changes, multiple changes of outfit. It's the exact sort of Breadtube video that I'm talking about. Like, whenever there's a quote, it's...
Yeah, the girls love dress up and they love cosplay. It's the exact same thing that ContraPoints does, only he does it so much better, right? But it's just to take away from the fact that these women don't have anything to say.
Read by like one of her friends, well, like another YouTuber who reads a quote for you. This is like the characteristics of what Breadtube was in the past, and part of why it died is because they just didn't talk about anything of any importance. They focused way more on like production value, which isn't even that good, especially in this case.
Wow. Trash discourse. That must have hurt. That must have hurt. There you go, Empanada. Again, this woman is a failure at YouTube. For all the boosting she gets as female, she's still doing trash. So she's looking at you guys and saying, I'm green over your success. That's what this is about. Jeez. Now, when this guy criticizes these people, of course, who are not pro-Palestine, what do you see? A bunch of feminists. He's a feminist. He is. He is. He is. I mean, come on. Of course these are upper class people. They're elites. They're going to be Zionist.
Why is that not important? I'd love for you to actually deal with the content of my videos and explain these things. Why?
Dude, there's no point of this woman dealing with the content of your video. She's just lying about you. She doesn't need to know anything about your videos. This is a Me Too, if I haven't said it already. Me Too is a slander campaign. It's a lie. There's no evidence needed. And you know something? It works. That's why you and this other male feminist were scurrying to make a rebuttal to this no-name feminist. Because again, it's not just her. She's got her female feminist friends to back up the lie. Right?
Is my an hour and 30-minute long specific argument arguing for why there is genocide in Gaza by...
This is gibberish. You're just... None of that matters. None of it. Let's get into the heart of this, right? Is he actually going to play what you had to say?
These people are just so selfish, so entirely focused on themselves that they just make arguments like this that are just frankly disgusting.
Wow, no, that's accurate. They're selfish. They're disgusting. Yeah. Female feminists are, dude. Hey, you're not for men's rights, are you? I bet if I said, would you back up men's rights, you would say no. Right? You're a male feminist. Now you're being attacked by one of your own. Now you're all upset. Right?
Are profiteering off of a genocide, personally enriching themselves by making endless slop content about a topic that people actually care about, but not really saying anything about it. Just
again, this is confession time. She makes slop. And she doesn't care about these issues.
constantly pumping out the same slop over and over again.
Okay, so are you going to actually provide examples for how my videos on Israel-Palestine do not actually...
She doesn't need to. She's lying about it. She doesn't need to.
As you said, say anything about it. Could you do that? Because that's what you're accusing me of here. Where is your example of that? This is what I mean. These people don't argue. They don't provide evidence. They just make confident statements.
Well, it makes sense. I'd be confident too. if I could just tell a lie and everyone would support me. Kavernackle said it earlier. Someone made a claim that he was abusive to his girlfriend, and everyone was showing up and saying so. They don't need to know the truth to tell the lie.
It's literally nothing but that. It's crazy that they are this confident while also being so wrong.
No, that isn't crazy. It makes perfect sense. That's female social dominance, you male weakling.
Telling your viewers that watching these videos is praxis, actually.
Cite a single fucking time where me or any of the people you pertain to be critiquing here have said that. Cite any example of that. Where has anyone said this is praxis? This is a point where you would make a citation. Why don't you do that?
Oh my God, this guy is begging. You should make a citation. Why don't you do that? You know, you're begging this woman. She doesn't need one. There's nothing for her to bring up anyway, right? She can't cite it. But again, it doesn't matter. People are going to believe her over you.
Why do you have no evidence for your claims? It's almost like you can't deal with what we are saying. You can't deal with our act.
Why doesn't she need evidence? Well, Me Too never had evidence. It wasn't necessary. It was just a bunch of women all supporting the lie. You didn't mind other men getting Me Too. It's your turn now. How does it feel?
Actual arguments, you construct this ridiculous straw man of what we say and do instead and argue against that in lieu of that.
All while seeding their viewers with these right-wing beliefs.
What the fuck? Which right-wing beliefs?
There you go. What did I tell you? This woman is giving a confession. She's right-wing. A hate movement like this, it's right-wing, it's authoritarian. But because when she calls you right-wing, she's calling you male. Women are good. The left wing is good. Therefore, she's left-wing. Men are bad. The right wing are bad. So therefore, you're right-wing. That's how it works.
That US imperialism is bad and that Americans in their inaction are partly responsible for it? That's not a right-wing belief at all.
Indoctrinating them into right-wing conspiratorial thinking. That's why Kavernackle seems so threatened.
Fucking Kavernackle? That's like the most unobjectionable Jeremy Corbyn type guy in the entire world. Even he's too radical for you?
He's a male feminist, so he's very objectionable, as far as I'm concerned.
By what he calls the nebula elite. Which is just straight up an anti-Semitic and anti-queer dog whistle. It's a train whistle.
What the fuck are you saying?
This is awesome. This is awesome. Been out of here. He's so deathly scared of this woman because he knows the social dominance women have. He's seen Me Too in action, and it can just destroy a man. It doesn't need truth on its side. It doesn't need evidence. You think he'd be this upset if some dude was saying all this about him? No, he wouldn't even bother with a response, just like Kavernackle. Kavernackle admitted it. He would just ignore a smaller channel like this. They can't, because this woman is one of their betters. These guys know it's a caste system. Me Too works because it's a caste system. And these women are our oppressors. You're being oppressed. Bada banana. You're being lied about. And enough women picked up what she had to say, your channel would be taken down. Now, you are fortunate because this is a 5-month-old video and your channel's still up. I don't see the one she said in her channel. Like when I put this, if I clicked onto her icon, I don't think I can find it. So I think she took it down. Let me take a very quick look. 5 months ago. Okay, videos. It's 3 months ago, 3 months ago, 4, 5. Did Hitler have a micro penis? Nope, I don't see it here anymore. I think you guys challenged her and brought her to attention. It actually worked this time. You managed to scurry out, right? But if these women really wanted to get you, they wouldn't need the truth. Me Too is a lie. They just couldn't be bothered. Anyway, if your channels were taken down due to this liar, you're a male feminist, so I don't even care. You reap what you sow. We'll end it here.